Hello! Thank you for clicking on this video. This is going to be a what sold on eBay and Poshmark and Mercari video. So if you're new here, thank you for being here. And my name is Dale. This channel is DLJ from PA, and I focus on reselling content. So soon I'll be able to do thrift hauls and unboxings, and I tell you about what has sold for me so that you can get an idea of the types of things that are selling on those platforms. And you also get to see sneak peeks of my dogs. If you're not new here, thank you for coming back, and you know that this is my Monday morning coffee talk, Monday morning coffee talk. And so again, we'll just dive right into what sold for me. So it was a little bit of a better week, but I still didn't hit my goal. I am a very part-time seller. I'm looking to sell one item a day. So 7 for the week, and I have 5 sales for this week. First, we'll cover Poshmark, which has still been really slow for me, and I don't exactly understand why. But I did sell 2 items on Poshmark. So the first thing that sold was this Simply Southern t-shirt, which I picked up the first time I went to the ThredUp outlets, and it was hanging. It was $5. I absolutely loved it for myself. So I planned to keep that for myself, but it turned out that it was a little bit too small. It just wasn't quite the fit that I like for t-shirts. So it sold on Poshmark for $15. So after fees, I made $12. So I did still make my money back on that. The second item that sold was a pair of Penn State sweatpants, which I picked up at the Goodwill bins for also less than $1, and they sold for $10. So again, after fees on Poshmark, I'll make $7. So still a decent profit on those, even though it was a small sale. But that's it. That's all I had on Poshmark. I don't know what to say. So over on eBay then, I was excited that this Roots Letterman style jacket sold for $30. And I picked that up at either the Goodwill or ThredUp outlet bins the day that I went to both. And so it was less than $1, and buyer paid for shipping. So I didn't lose money on the shipping there. So that was a very healthy profit for me. And then I think the last of the Nintendo 3DS games that I had listed finally sold for $14.99. And I'll pay for shipping on that, but that'll be $3 or $4. And that was just from our own stock. So happy that sold. And then I decided to cross-post to Mercari for the first time. So that's a similar platform to eBay and Poshmark. But the nice thing about Mercari is that their fees are less. So it's only 10% of your sales as a fee versus 20% on Poshmark. And honestly, I feel like the eBay fees eventually roll out to be about 20% as well. So this is like story time. So I listed the purse, and it was getting a lot of interest at first, but I decided like nobody bit on it and actually purchased it. So I did an offer to likers of, I believe, $65, and then somebody offered $61, and I took it. So it sold for $61, but I had free shipping on it, and shipping was probably going to cost like, $11 or so. So I would have come out to $50 minus the 10%, so $45 profit on that item. And I picked it up at the first time I went to the ThredUp outlets for $20. So that still would have been a great sale. Unfortunately, the following day, as I was getting ready to ship it, when I pulled up the order, I saw that the buyer canceled the transaction, or Mercari canceled the transaction. I'm not entirely sure, but in any event, the transaction was canceled. So I was so disappointed. It was my first Mercari sale, and it got canceled like that. But what I decided to do was put the item back up again because it was getting so much interest, and I raised the price and I did not put free shipping on it. I kept that the buyer would pay shipping, and I believe it sold again within the day. So it was a very quick sale, and this time it sold for $79. Buyer paid shipping, and so after they take the 10%, I'm making more like $70 minus my $20. So a $50 profit, much better. So yeah, so I decided to take those lemons and make some lemonade out of that cancel transaction and take the lessons learned. So that's still the only thing that I've sold on Mercari so far, but it was interesting that it sold like twice so fast. So it was a beautiful purse. I've had it listed on eBay and Poshmark for a couple months now, and it would get interest, and I'd send offers to likers, and but nobody wanted to buy it there, and then it sold twice on Mercari. So I'm telling you, this puzzle of reselling is not an easy one to solve. But that's why we just keep doing things and learning, right? So that's all that I have for my typical Monday morning coffee talk. And so I thought that it would be fun to do a tiny jewelry unboxing. So I picked this bag up at a local estate auction, and again, learned my lesson from the Gone with the Wind and Princess Diana dolls, that I only looked at the local ones where I knew that I could drive and pick up the items. So my total for this bag was $15.57. And I've taken a peek, and there look to be some pretty nice items in there. So let's dive in and take a look. All right, so I'm a little worried about how the lighting's going to be, but we're just gonna start rolling and see how it goes. So let's just dump out all these items, and then we'll start pulling them out and going through them. All right. So first we have this brooch, and it's a little worn on the back. I don't see any kind of maker's mark. I think I'll probably put that in a craft lot. It's just not terribly special, but somebody who knows how to do like enamel painting, I think it would be pretty if this were painted, and then this looks like it could be like a cherry or something. So if that was red, it could be a really pretty item for a crafter. So we'll put that in craft lot items. Here is a bracelet that is just very unique. All right, we'll try filming this way. So yes, this bracelet is very unique, sparkly with gold and then blue. It does look like the blue has worn off on this corner, huh? And it's a hinge, so it just hinges there. And I don't see any kind of mark or anything, but let's see if the magnet, oh, and it is magnetic. So I don't know, because of the paint or the discoloration there, I'm kind of thinking that that might go to a craft lot as well. Then this brooch is certainly old. Can you see it? Yes, it's old, very old. Needs a good cleaning. But I'm sure in its day, it was beautiful. So I would feel definitely confident saying that is vintage. I don't see any kind of maker's mark on it. But the magnet does not seem to be drawn to it. So, I don't know that I have the ability to clean that. So if you have any suggestions on cleaning items that are so well loved, please comment below and let me know how you would tackle that. All right, here is just an adjustable solitaire type ring. Obviously, being adjustable, it is not authentic. and it is drawn to the magnet, so it's not sterling either. Look at this earring. Can you see how beautiful that is? Wait, let me see. That is gorgeous. I hope I have a match to that. Oh my gosh, this is such an old watch. Crazy. Sherco, S-H-E-R-C-O. I don't know if that means anything. But wow, this is just super, super old. Let's see if the band sticks. It does. So I think that I could probably sell that just as a vintage watch for somebody who's into that sort of thing. Sorry, the dogs are being loud. Here, I forget what these, is this a, would this be a sweater pin? Oh, I'm telling you, I need to figure out a better jewelry setup. Yeah, I forget what these kinds of pins are called, but that's in pretty decent shape. But it is magnetic. And we have just a, looks like a homemade and sticky craft lot piece. Here is a vintage bracelet that's missing a clasp. So unfortunately, I'm not a jeweler by nature. I don't have all the tools to add a clasp to something like that, but those are definitely vintage beads and, you know, fittings. So I think somebody would appreciate that in a craft lot. Right. Unfortunately, this one's broken also. Some graduated pearl type beads that I'm a little worried about now. And oh, so I think just the finish is completely worn off, this one. So craft lot. Okay, this is a little necklace with these roses, and then these are like plastic pieces. So it's, oh, these, it's like a rolled up ribbon. So just not my style, not my cup of tea. So craft lot. So we have this mess of a necklace, which I'm not quite sure I understand. These beads look like maybe the gold has worn off of them, and it is very magnetic. I also noticed as I was, sorry, my dogs, as I was going through the jewelry that a lot of it has, I don't know if it's candy or what stuck to it, but it's kind of gross. So I think almost all of this is going in a craft lot, but this piece definitely is. Then there's this strand of pearl beads, but it's not real, and it's broken. This is the whole fitting for it, but this end is just broken strand, and I mean, you can see they're loose, so just for crafting. This necklace with graduated beads that are kind of pretty, but then they're yellowed right there. So we'll just put that again in the craft lot. This is actually a pretty gold necklace. It is magnetic, so it's not real, but this is probably in the best condition out of the entire lot. So I think that I'll keep this, that maybe if I have a pendant at some point that I could use a necklace for, I'll use that necklace. Now this piece is, I don't think it's magnetic. Is it? Does not seem to, well, the ends are drawn to the magnet, but the actual chain is not. I don't think that means anything though. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Is this actually, oh yeah, that's a clasp. Did you know that was going to be a clasp? Even though this is a hook that I thought would just hook on there. but I'm not sure that I understand. I don't think this would sell on its own. So I think that's a nice addition to a craft lot. Not as gross as the others. Then there's some like children's items, it seems like this bracelet is so tiny. It's very delicate and pretty. There are also a couple of rings that have like adjustable gold tone rings, a single heart and then a double heart, children's. And this little necklace, very dainty, would actually be pretty, but again, I think had some grossness on the necklace, so I'm just going to throw it in a craft lot. So this necklace has an H pendant dangling from the bar, and I think is entirely in order here. But again, it is magnetic, so not precious metal, and I think I'll just throw it in the craft lot. Here's another little clip type item that says scholarship, and then this says either 99 or 66. I'm not sure which. This, I'm not exactly sure what it even is. There's the back, and there's the front, but it's just on this little chain type thing that it looks like it was supposed to be attached to something else, and then that dangles down maybe. So we'll throw it in the craft lot. Another one of these necklaces with plastic detailing and some bonus candy, we'll throw in the craft lot. Another necklace that is magnetic, so we'll put it in the craft lot. There is a pair of earrings that's very pretty. Yes, so that pair of earrings is very pretty. So I might try to sell those. None of these have matches, which is so disappointing because like this one I think is really pretty. This I had showed you earlier, beautiful. This I honestly, let me see, is it magnetic? It is. But this part is not. This stone is so beautiful that I honestly think I might keep it. Can you see how pretty that is? Not really. But I don't think it's a real stone. But I might keep that to do something else with sometime eventually. So that jewelry lot was unfortunately a bust. I am putting the majority of it in a craft lot, so I'll be posting that. I think that they do well on Mercari, so I think that will be my next listing to Mercari. And I do still have plenty of death pile items to list, so I really shouldn't even be sourcing. But our thrift stores just opened this past weekend, and it's going to be really hard to resist going into one. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have a thrift haul for you later this week. So thanks for being here and have a fantastic day.